Unit 5 Test Study Guide, Bonus, Part 2. Again, as you're doing this, you need to find sections of the table where you know 3 of the 4 pieces of information. So I am going to look right now. I'm going to ignore this middle line because I like going back to the information that we start with. And right here I have 3 of the 4 pieces of information. So I can set up my proportion, and I will be looking now to fill this box in. Alright, so again, I definitely need more room to work. To start off your proportion, you always start off with line equals line. And again, I'm going to go with run over bike. The information they gave me is it's 2 1/2 over 3 1/3 biked. And what I know is that I have 2 3/8 run. So that has to be on top on this side. And I'm looking for how much would have been biked. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do like I did last time and make these into improper fractions. So 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1, 5/2 over 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1, 10/3 equals. And over here, 8 times 2 is 16 plus 3 is 19/8. And x is still x. Now, cross multiplying. I like keeping the x on the left, so I'm going to go ahead and multiply this direction first. 5 over 2 times x equals the other direction. These two things have to multiply together. 10/3 times 19/8. This side is the easy one. Yes, you just drop the dot. It is 5/2 x equals. On this side, reducing before you multiply is a nice thing while the numbers are still small. 10 and 8 can both be divided by 2, so divide them both by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And now multiplying, you multiply numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. 5 times 19. 5 times 9 is 45. Carry a 4. 5 times 1 is 5 plus the 4. That is 95. 3 times 4 then is 12. You now have your equation. You need to solve your equation. You need to get the x by itself. It's being multiplied by 5/2. You undo that by dividing by 5/2. Again, whatever you do to this side of the equation, you have to do to this side to keep it balanced. So show that you're keeping it balanced by saying you divide both sides by 5/2. On this side, it gets you the x by itself, just what you were hoping for. On this side, write it out as a division problem using the line with the 2 dots. So that is going to be 95/12 divided by 5/2. And again, you don't really divide with fractions. You multiply by the reciprocal, or keep, change, flip, or keep, dot, flip. 95 over 12 times 2/5. And again, reducing before you multiply, wonderful tool. 2 and 12 can both be divided by 2. Divide by 2, this becomes a 1, and 12 divided by 2, this would become a 6. 95 and 5 can both be divided by 5. So divide by 5, this becomes a 1, and then this becomes 19. Yeah, we got that by doing 5 times 19, and now we're taking the 5 back out of it. That's going to be 19. So multiply, I get 19/6 as my answer. Again, numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator is 19/6. 6 would go into 19. Let's change it into a mixed number. 6 would go into 19 3 whole times. 3 times 6 is 18. I'd have 1 piece left over. So I've got 1 piece, and yeah, it is still a sixth of whatever this, a sixth of a mile, I guess, is what we're talking about here. So our missing piece is 3 1/6. Fill that into our table. And you can now figure out your total because you can add these two. To add these two, you need a common denominator. And for that, it is 6 and 8. The smallest thing that they both multiply up to is 24. So let's change them into 24. So let me do it over here. 2 3/8 plus 3 1/6. I'm not going to mess with the whole number parts. 24, to make this 24, I'd multiply by 3, multiply the top by 3. This is 9/24 plus, this would be times 4. 6 times 4 would give me 24. Do the same to the top. This becomes 4/24, 3 4/24. And now, adding 3 plus 2 would give me 5 for the whole number, and then 9/24 plus 4/24. Again, that's how many parts you have. You have 9 parts, you have 4 parts. Altogether, you have 13 parts, and the bottom number stays the same. It still takes 24 pieces to make a whole thing. You now have 13 of them. So that is your answer, 5 13/24.